Is democracy really the best we can do? Well, Hans Hermann Hoppe doesn't think so. Hans is an economist and political commentator that comes from the Austrian School of Economics. He has heavily influenced right-wing and right-libertarian thought. Hoppe argues that democracy is not the highest stage of political development, as many assume, but rather a deeply flawed system that inevitably leads to economic decline, moral decay, and civilizational collapse. Let's not forget that most states were monarchies until the 18th to the 20th century, and really most of this transition took place in the late 19th century and into the 20th century, so it's extremely recent. He contrasts democracy with monarchy, which he sees as a lesser evil, and with anarcho-capitalism, which he presents as the ideal. His bold claim is that democracy has failed because it incentivizes short-term exploitation of society's resources by political elites. Monarchs treat the state as their private property. Because they own their kingdom and expect it to pass on, they are more likely to preserve wealth and to think long-term. Democratic politicians, by contrast, are temporary caretakers. They don't own the state, they just manage it until the next election. This gives them every incentive to maximize short-term gains, expand debt, and buy votes. Thus, Hoppe argues monarchy, though still flawed, is more economically stable and less exploitative than democracy. Hoppe claims that democracy encourages citizens themselves to adopt higher time preferences, leading to consumerism, debt culture, and social decay. In monarchies, exploitation is concentrated. One ruler taxes and spends. In democracy, exploitation is widespread. Every group lobbies for privileges, subsidies, and transfers. This turns the state into the tragedy of the commons, a public resource looted by competing factions. Over time, democracy leads to ever-expanding redistribution, erosion of property rights, and growing government. Hoppe's positive vision is a stateless society grounded in private property and voluntary exchange. Law and order would be provided by private insurers, arbitration agencies, and associations rather than a monopolistic state. Without taxation, people would fund governments directly through contracts. Hoppe believes this system would minimize conflict, protect property rights, and reduce crime. Hoppe goes beyond economics into cultural conservatism. He argues that family, tradition, and private communities are essential to maintaining civilization. He defends the right of private communities to exclude those they deem undesirable, immigrants, criminals, or cultural outsiders. This has made his work especially controversial, as critics accuse him of promoting exclusionary or authoritarian practices. What do you think? Is democracy the best we can do, or is Hoppe onto something? Comment down below.